This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Word Radio. I am your host, Cardinellis, and today I'm joined via Zoom by Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal. And today we are talking about an article here about church attendance having declined in most U.S. religious groups, except for one who is crushing it, and it's us, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now tell us, Jonah, you brought this article to my attention. Is it that we have been spared this ignominy? Or is it that we're just doing better and we're following the trend, but just not so badly like in many other problems with the North American church? Jonah Barnes, go. Tell us what's up.
Well, that's kind of an interesting question. It's hard to tell. The data that being presented here says that everybody's experiencing a decline generally across America. We're just secularizing and getting less religious. And we've also experienced a decline compared to last decade, but the decade before that, we were experiencing a sharp increase. And so it actually ended up staying exactly flat over the past 20 years. So we've just maintained our activity while everything else has deteriorated. That's 20 years. That's a long time to window to look at. It says that 3 in 10 U.S. adults, so generally across the United States, 30% or 25% attend religious services regularly, which is rough. That's bad. That's that's rough.
Yeah.
And all these religions are seeing, not all of them are seeing this decline, except for a couple. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints tops that list.
I was about to say names.
Active religion.
I want to see names, success stories.
So
I'm a church office building employee. Unless you tell me good things, I'm going to ignore them. No.
So these are good things. So the church office building, you can allow this one past your firewalls.
Yeah.
The overall attendance of the LDS Church remained steady over the past 20 years. It was 68% in 2000 to 2003. They did this back then. And it was 68%. And then it spiked a decade later to 75%. And now a decade after that, it's gone back down to 67%. And so it stayed pretty much flat. The biggest decrease that they've seen is among Catholics, which
really?
Real bad.
Oh,
Catholics
that's so sad.
Dropped.
That's so sad.
They've dropped 12% over the past 12
Dude, we got to help our Catholic brothers and sisters out. Like, of all the other faiths out there in the body of Christ, I want Catholicism to do well.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
me too.
They're the coolest cats, and that faith is actually fun.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Except for the celibacy thing. We got to work that out. Those poor guys. You know what I'm saying? We got to work that out.
Well, the priests are celibate, but all the rest of the Catholics...
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Okay. All right.
They declined from 45% attending regularly to only 33% attending regularly now. So 20 years on. So that's rough. Only 1 in 3 Catholics are then active. And the reasons for that could be the Spotlight scandal. Could be there was a lot that affected it quite a bit with Catholicism. So that was a big bummer. Other decreases, Orthodox has decreased. Hindus have decreased. A lot of those people are coming from perhaps countries that it could just be assimilation.
Yeah, but also, is that just assimilating into a secularized society where mom and dad still go to Hindu temple, but none of the kids do, and mom and dad just don't enforce anything, or
could be
end up
some
not
of that.
caring or whatever. Okay.
Could be some of that. Protestants had a decline from 48% to 44%.
Okay.
But a few people experienced increases. So Judaism is up.
Get out.
Hey, right on.
Oh, yeah.
Good work, guys. Good work. Judaism.
Well, is that just because then you go from having to read the Old and the New Testament, you just simplify and just go straight to the Old Testament? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of lightens the load, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Makes it a little easier.
A little bit harder on the different holy day, but less to read. This could be a good thing, Yeah.
The other one that saw an increase is Islam in the United States. So 34% shot up.
That's got to be the Andrew Tate effect, because they're the only people that demand respect. The North American church allows itself to get bee-slapped by every cry bully out there, every woke scold, every disingenuous and fake bad actor gets to run roughshod on the North American church. The only people that like put their foot down in the Western United States are the Muslims. So maybe that's why they've actually grown. Because that's what Andrew Tate said. He said it's the only religion I'll convert to because it's the only one that demands respect.
It demands respect, yeah. Well, they had a similar trend that we did, where they were at 34% activity rate around 2000. They went up to 46%. That's a huge increase.
Man, that's massive. Okay.
2011, 2012, 2013, and then plummeted back down to 38% around 2020. Now, some of those numbers could be skewed because COVID had such a horrible effect on everybody. If they had done this right before COVID, it probably would have still been really amazing. Yeah, so maybe in another year or two, people come back. But
so here's my question for you, Jonah, is how much of this can be the Ricky Martin effect? Are you aware of what the Ricky Martin effect is? You ever heard that term before?
Yeah, live in La Vida Loca, sure.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what that. No, well, what are you talking about? I don't.
Okay, in LA Unified School District, the year Ricky Martin's "Live in La Vida Loca" came out, all of a sudden they noticed a drastic spike of like 12% of Latino students were enrolled in LA Unified School District, and all the sociologists are like, "Whoa, wait, what's going on?" I remember I was an education major briefly while I was at BYU. And one of the interesting phenomena that we had studied was how in LA Unified School District, all of a sudden one year there was a spike in Latinos that enrolled in LA Unified School District. And what they really found out was that in those 2 or 3 years that Ricky Martin was super popular, a lot of the kids that may have been like half, it's so funny, in California, the terms are like non-Hispanic, Latino, white or something, but the people that would have checked that box over here for white guy, we're now checking this box over here for Hispanic and Latino because Latino was cool, because Ricky Martin was cool. And, we're a big fat melting pot here in Los Angeles. You got people that are half this, half that all over. So you can see why some kid might say traditionally, I don't know, when Kid Rock is in the top 40, you know what I'm saying? I'm a white kid. When I don't know, David Archuleta's crushing it. Well then, rock on, Ricky Martin effect, left and right. So it's called the Ricky Martin effect by some sociologists. So I'm wondering, did maybe like Islam experience anything, any period of time? I could see how the spotlight scandal could decrease people wanting to self-identify as Catholic for a period of time. But I don't know, when Tim Tebow's all Christian, is all of a sudden non-denominational Christianity spiking? We got a Tim Tebow effect, Is there anything else besides just political and religious cynicism that could describe any of this data?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not a cultural psychologist, but I know that the hyper woke crusades weren't going on until just the past decade. So
okay, true that.
If people were identifying as a certain religion because there was no stigma, why wouldn't you say you were a Christian? Maybe that.
Well, here since the late 90s in California, yes, but I think around 2000 to 2003 there was definitely far less stigma than there was in 2023. You're right. So, okay, interesting. So what do we take away from this, man? What's the big fat takeaway?
Well, the saddest thing, and they actually do report this in the article, which is really weird. The saddest thing is that people who identify as atheist, only 6% of them were regularly attending church services weekly, and that's down to 3%. It's a tragedy. They cut in half. The activity rate for people who hate religion, the religiosity of people who hate religion has halved. I know. It's crazy.
So what was their church like? Did they just come into a room where they just self-congratulated each other with arrogant catchphrases from Richard Dawkins? And then, who was the other guy they're always talking about, wishing that they were? The other unkempt, ugly guy. There's Richard Dawkins. Then there's Matt Dillahunty, the dude in boots. Yeah, that guy. And then I've always thought he looks like the head of a sober biker gang, that Matt Dillahunty guy, and then there's he totally does. And then who was the other one that had not Richard Dawkins, he's the Englishman, the other one that everybody's always quoting,
Christopher Hitchens.
Hitchens. Yeah. Christopher Hitchens, the crazy uncle that shows up at Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's what he always reminds me of. So what do they do? What's their like church attendance? Are they getting conned into going to other chapels with their family, or do they just all sit around in their chapel of Richard Dawkins quoting Christopher Hitchens and then congratulating themselves on how smart they are, though they don't really know too much, and then prepping for the conversion en masse of everybody in their faith into wokeism 2.0, because that's all atheism really is.
I think their church is just a like a computer lab with all the computers booted up to Reddit.
Yeah,
and they just get on there and complain and
hey, P.S. dude, I got a Robinhood. Tell me if I'm wrong about this, Jonah. I got an alert from Robinhood where I invest my taxes. Not my taxes, sorry. I invest in stocks. And Reddit is about to IPO, and it asked me if I wanted to participate in the Reddit IPO. And I thought, I know that the number, somebody told me this and I haven't been able to verify the stat, but it sounds true because I know that the number one CompuServe chat room was the LDS CompuServe chat room back during the early days of the internet with AOL Online and Messenger and so on and so forth. Do I want to I heard that the ex-Mormon subreddit is the number one subreddit on Reddit on the whole platform. And so they baby it and they push it and, you know, they try and get it out there. So like, should I invest in ex-Mormon subreddit during the IPO of Reddit, bro? Is that like a safe bet? Like, maybe, or is that like, is that like investing in Budweiser as a Mormon who doesn't drink? You know what I'm saying?
It's a little bit cheating, right? Because prophecies say that we're headed downhill. To be like investing in the end of the world. You know, there was a guy, one time, I made this as a joke. He was my wife's former mission president and he was a successful businessman.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we were out meeting the guy and I was introducing myself and
yeah,
about to marry this sister who'd served underneath him, you know? Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, I got this great idea. He didn't understand my sense of humor. I was like, got this great idea. Okay. We just take a couple $1 million. We buy parking lots at Adamon and outhouses, porta potties. We wait around for like 50 years and we cash in. And he was like, what? He didn't get it at all. He looked at me just like, that's a terrible idea. And I was like, I'm joking. It's a joke. He didn't get it at all. But to this day, funny, and he never laughed. I think he still thinks that I'm crazy. But
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. But actually, so we have a tract here quickly. If I could just get it from the Church of Atheism. They have a tract that they send out. They actually have their own missionary force.
Really?
And we have yes, of course. We have a picture of, if I can just get it to load here, picture of a missionary for the Church of Atheism. Now he was not available for comment as to why their attendance is halved in the past decade, which is really sad. But he did reply to my email and shared his own profile and kind of the three hooks, the two hooks he uses to get people into the atheist church. So that's just in the Discord right now.
Tired of meaning in your life? Recently dumped? Join the atheist church? Sagar and Jetty in a recent podcast said something. It's like, yeah, dude, even I had my cringe atheist phase where I was reading The God Delusion and passing out books from Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens to all my friends. And I'm like, yep, half those friends. You know what I'm saying? You're a savage, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
so anyways, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the most active church in the United States of America. Congratulations, saints. We did it. Number one, give yourself a pat on the back. We are the most active church. We have maintained the same activity rate.
We're the most active
20
church.
years.
Wow.
Most active church. Number one on the list. We're leading the way.
Wow. So, all right, dude. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this true on a macro scale like it is for you on a micro scale in your local municipality, in your local ward, in your local stake? Or is this just a bunch of hogwash? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, for this and more, please check us out at wardradio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. wake up, top of the morning, the bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange, the bank says I'm already scoring.